Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy AAron2420, bringing you guys just a quick little NPCC team builder. I'm very pressed for time, so this match is going to be a little quick, so sorry if I get anything wrong. I'm just going to vaguely cover the team. That's really it. Without further ado, let's get right into the match. So this week we're bringing Physical Coco, Adamant with Expert Belt. I couldn't actually make it shiny in the match. Still Cocaine, the top of Coco. Braybird Wild Charge hits his team very well. It's meant just because I know Mega Venusaur is going to be the mon that will always come down this. So then I can just fire off Braybird. It does 2-hit KO, in fact, any Mega Venusaur variant because of the Expert Belt. Nature's Madness is meant to just catch any walls and switches. So for example, let's say Mega Venusaur comes in at full, go for Nature's Madness, and I can Braybird. Really, any HP that Mega Venusaur comes in, if I can get a Nature's Madness off, I'll guarantee kill it with Braybird. So that's really nice, mainly because Mega Venusaur is no longer a switch in. Because let's say I do go for Nature's Madness, even if it's at like 88%, I'm still going to bring it down to below half regardless. So Nature's Madness on the switch, and then obviously I just go for Braybird, kill it off. So that's really nice. I got Nacho Libre, Swords Dance, Acro, HP Ice, High Jump Kick. HP Ice is that way Gligar can't roost up on us. We have Electricity just to gain speed. We have speed as an entire team. Naughty Nature just because I would need to boost attack. I'm still doing plenty of Gliscor. I went to Gligar, not Gliscor. If he's Spadef Gliscor, I'll know because it doesn't guarantee 2-hit KO. But even then, it's still most likely our safe play unless we're pretty highly set up with Swords Dances. We got Dustin King, our Frogadier. Ice Beam is meant for Gligar. We have Surf. Surf just is this team overall not bad. It hits pretty neutral. Ice Beam is also good for like Mana Buzz. Gunk Shot's there. One, because I mean it does fairly decent to Mega Venusaur. I believe it's our best hitting attack on Mega Venusaur because it is a neutral hit. It's mainly there meant to break the Alolan Ninetales though, because if he leads off with it, I'm gonna lead off with this guarantee. So then I could just U-turn out if it's anything else, and if it is Alolan Ninetales, I'm just gonna fire off a Gunk Shot, kill that mon off. Because I do not like Veil. Veil is disgusting. As a Veil player myself, I know what Veil can do. I'm not letting it get set up. We have Icy McSpicy, our Mamoswine. If he does not bring a Alolan Ninetales on his team, or Ditto, because Ditto can obviously copy rocks, I'm going to lead off with this, and it's going to be Ice Crash, Ice Shard, Stealth Rock, Earthquake. Spoiler alert, he does bring a Alolan Ninetales, so I do not lead off with Icy McSpicy. Next up, I got Blocked by the Sun, our Sub-Combine Caress with Sub-Combine Moonblast. Actually, I didn't bring Moonlight and Psychic. We got Moonblast, and Mana Buzz doesn't force out every time, because otherwise this set would lose to Mandy. Everything else just gets bought by Psychic pretty easily. I sadly did not speed Mandy. Though to be fair, he put a shit ton of speed in his Mandy. He told me after the match he sped Cryptic for an uninvested Gligar. So even if I had genned in the Cresselia right, it wouldn't have mattered because he would have still been outspeeding me. So it's whatever. Finally, though, we have April with Jolly Life Orb with Fake Out, U-turn, Return, and Knockoff. Return and Knockoff are just there. It's mainly just Fake Out, then U-turn out. Great for example, Manaphy before Z-Rain Dance. Should go for it. Really just great for everything on his team. If it's a Bulk Mon, I can always Revenge off with Return. Without further ado, though, let's get right into the match. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy AAron2420, bring you guys another NPCC Minors game. This one will probably be up really late tonight because I have a lot to do in preparation for regionals next weekend. So I also put this off till the last seconds. That's an L for my ass. But we are here for week 2 of the NPCC Minors versus AlphaLycanroc. About this game, I'm really disappointed in not necessarily too much of my plays, but a few of them, and I'll point out why during the match. But I'm also really disappointed that the kid I wanted to fight top, he had to drop right before I got to kick his ass. So I'm really sad about that. But, you know, we still fought AlphaLycanroc. He's a very good battler. Check him out. Links in the description below, along with the rest of the coaches. I went over the team earlier in the match, so I sort of went over my matchup and my lead options there already. So I'm not necessarily going to repeat those for you guys. But without further ado, let's get right into the battle. So yeah, the NPCC, I find that everyone at least has a good sense of style with their trainers. They all dress really well. As I mentioned, though, he did have Alolan Ninetales in team preview, so I was going to lead off with a Frogadier or Dustin King, and he actually leads off with Ditto. I don't know why I thought otherwise when I saw Ditto in the team preview as well, but he does. And this is a moment where I scout if he's Scarf Ditto, because he's probably max speed Scarfed, or at least at the very least he's more speed invested than we are. So I do know that. I know that also because of that, he is definitely scarfed because he wouldn't have outsped us any other way, which means that I do know for a fact that this Ditto is going to be locked into one move, which is very important for later on the match. Helps me with predictions. I had also actually went for U-turn. I figured that there wasn't really any reason for me to stay in because I knew I couldn't have really hit myself well with any coverage. And trying to bank on him hitting for any other move besides U-turn was definitely a shit ton of mind games. But I knew I would definitely get the momentum because I'd be able to see what he went into because he'd either hard top or U-turn, though most likely U-turn if he's scarfed. From here, he goes for the Stealth Rocks as I go for my sub because I'm sub Combine Crest, and I figured that if I can get to +1, I'm doing really decent damage to his team with Psychic or Combine, not Combine, or Moonblast in the case of Mandibuzz. Since he did bring Mandibuzz, I don't blame him because otherwise Psychic Crest 6-0'd his team. He actually goes for the Sword Stance here, which is something that I don't know why I didn't prep for Sword Stance, nor why I didn't go into something else that could have just blown this thing back, but in hindsight, even then, it's still a roll for him to break my sub. I believe it was a roll. If not, then he just was able to break my sub regardless. Though, obviously, I don't think he prepped for that. It just happened to be that he brought it. So, he goes for the Iron Head here, as he will break my sub, as you can see right here. I decided I'm going to go for the Psychic, because I really didn't want this thing to just keep setting up. I figured that the Sword Stance was scary. And from here, I thought that he was probably just in range of a Psychic. So I figured I might as well just kill him off. He's going to go for Iron Head, as I figured. And he does about 30%. So that was in the higher end of the roll, I believe. Because I'm pretty sure it was around 25 to 33%. I don't feel like recalculating it, though. But I know it was... I could have sworn it was around there. Though I may have just miscalculated. He also wasn't Life Orb, which I'm pretty sure the set I calculated for was. But I did, in fact, kill him off. And I figured, okay, I'm going to go for the sub here because I'd sped crept. But I forgot this thing could have easily sped crept me, and I forgot to adjust my EVs. So that ended up playing a major impact because I didn't realize it until this turn. Though he ended up being faster than I thought he was, so it wouldn't have mattered too much anyway. But he does get off a Toxic, which is very scary for us, as it's going to wear us down very, very much so. And so if you don't have Moonlight, we don't have any way of getting our HP back besides Leftovers. So essentially, Crest is dead here in my eyes. So I figured, why not just click? I'm pretty sure I click Calm Mind here and then I go for Moonblast. No, I just go for... Oh yeah, that's right, because Moonblast 2 at KO. So I just went for Moonblast. I figured there's no way that I wouldn't. Sadly, he does in fact just live. So in my eyes, I figured that he's probably more of a Spit F, at least a slightly Spit F variant. If he was max physical defense, there was a decent roll for me to kill. Or a decent roll for me to 2 at KO, I believe. So because of that, though, he is able to knock off our Leftovers. We would have died this turn to Toxic anyway. I Moonblast here just because I figured I want to get him as low as possible because I can bring something later on to kill him. If I can get up Rocks later on as well, then his mana was essentially dead. So, blocked by his Sun is dead. And that's really scary for me because that was definitely my win con in this match, and I just let it get Toxic. It was a very major misplay on my part. So, I go into Cocaine here. I figured there's no reason he's going to stay in. I had hoped that he didn't know that Shiny Coco was event locked, nor that I also hoped that he didn't know that I just brought Shiny... I hope that he didn't think I brought Shiny Coco last week. And I also hope that he didn't think I was not timid because I brought normal Coco. But, I mean, he might have. I don't know. From here, I decided to go for Brave Bird because I expected the Venusaur to switch in. But I forgot that Coco walls out my entire moveset. So, I was really stupid here. I decided that not only did I decide to stay in, but I decided to go for U-turn, forgetting he could just fire off like a Nature's Madness, which is going to do really decent damage to my Coco, obviously, because Nature's Madness is doing half. So I'm already putting myself in a very, very bad position, because as a recoil mom with no recovery, taking that much damage from a Nature's Madness is very scary. I should have, in hindsight, hard swapped into April, because April, I don't really need April too much this match. It's sort of just to fire off fake outs when I can. So in hindsight, I should have done that. So I did not think he was going to stay in here. I figured there was no reason for him to. He's locked in Nature's Madness. He's never going to be able to kill me off. So I go for the return here. Very great move on my part, actually, as I do just over half. And even with his Mega Evolution, it was like a 50% roll for me to Oko, even after he Mega Evolved. So he Mega Evolves here, and I click return. I figured it was the safest play I had. I can't knock off. I'm not going to U-turn on it because no matter what I U-turn into, he could just recover. So I go for the return here, and he lives on 2 HP. I'm pretty sure the minimum he could have lived on, well, the maximum he could have lived on was like 4 or 5. So it's definitely on the lower end of the spectrum, but you live and you learn. Sadly, my luck has been complete dog shit. So I just U-turn here. I figured that he's going to now be able to just sit on me. I did not want to have to risk another turn of me not killing him and then him just synthesizing, because eventually we get out of range for me to even possibly kill. So I go into Dustin. I figured this was a nice sack. I didn't want Tapu Koko switching on a potential Sludge Bomb. I also didn't want to switch in Mamoswine because Giga Drain would have hurt. And he does end up just going for the Synthesis. So he gets himself up there pretty high HP. And I figured that at this point, I just want a Gunk Shot because I'm hoping that he will just attack me. He knows my moveset, so I'd really hoped he would just attack me. So I went for Gunk Shot, just get off any possible damage I can on this thing, because I really do not want to risk having him just keep recovering up. And I do fairly okay damage. In hindsight, it was less than I originally thought I was going to do, but I'd also count for Life Orb, so again, another misplay on my part. So he does actually carry Earthquake. So I did not end up being able to kill, though. To be fair, HP Fire probably would have killed. I didn't calculate HP Fire, though. To be fair, I didn't calculate for anything because I figured it was just going to be dual stab, Leech Seed Synthesis. But he ends up switching out here. It's completely understandable because had I been like a Bandit variant, I would have definitely killed. He goes on a Mana Buzz, and Earthquake ends up being negated. So I just go up for Rocks. In hindsight, I should have gotten up Rocks, then just went for Ice Shard, because then I wouldn't have had gotten Toxic this turn by the Mana Buzz. So that definitely was a massive L on my end. When I go for, he goes for Roost here. That's right, because now he's out of Ice Shard range, and then he can just go for the. In hindsight, I should have went for Ice Shard there regardless. But I'm pretty sure he actually lives this Icicle Crash, because I remember getting Toxic, and I think it was by the Mana Buzz. Yeah, I was gonna say, had I went for Stealth Rocks, then I could have just Ice Sharded. He wouldn't have got the Roost up, and then he couldn't have Toxic me here. As I said, I did remember getting Toxic by this thing, so it's really weird. For some reason, I thought that I just Ice Sharded. I thought I just Icicle Crashed and then he Toxic, but well, he Toxic then I Icicle Crashed, but whatever. Point is, I used the Ice move. He ended up living. He Toxic me. So had I gotten a Prox at first, I could have just clicked Ice Shard and he would have been dead. So I guess that was a few turns that I mixed up. But point is, me being Toxic was very bad. It allowed Manaphy to set up even more on me. Though to be fair, Manaphy would have probably just killed me. But it made me in my mind think I just want to kill this thing. And I find out that he's actually defensive Manaphy because he's ridiculously slow. I'm able to outspeed him, even Adamant Nature Mamoswine. So he ends up going for his Z move here, is Water MZ. His Water MZ Rain Dance. Sorry about that, by the way, guys. So I find out here that he's just trying to not get Toxic. He is able to outspeed Tapu Koko with this. So I'm very, very terrified of this Manaphy right now. Because Manaphy, I don't have any mons that really want to take a Manaphy at this point, because his set, it just like I don't have anything for this, and I figured I was just gonna go for Ice Shard because I'm dying anyway. I wanted as much chip as possible. God damn, I can't talk today. The crit didn't matter there at all, so at this point I just go into April. I figured I can get off some fake out damage, that way then I can just flinch, get as low as possible, and then maybe just go for returns. I figured that there was no real harm in doing so. So I go for the fake out here. It does almost nothing. This is where I can burn Goose hard defense and not like a Spidef variant potentially for Koko with like when he couldn't have been with Clonberry. So I don't know why I thought it could have been. I know in my battle I was thinking, maybe he's Spidef like with Clonberry. I don't know why. He literally used Waterium Z, and now in my head I'm just thinking, oh my god, why? So he goes the rest here. Obviously Hydration is going to cure that next turn. So I'm already in a losing battle. A battle I did not want to have to be in. So in my mind, I'm just thinking, oh god, what have I got myself into? So I just sack April at this point. I figure there's no reason to keep April around. Doesn't really do anything for us. Maybe get off another low damage fake out with this Manaphy. So I go into Cocaine here. I need to get this Electric Terrain off. And I figured if I can get the Electric Terrain off, I can go into Hawlucha. I can go for 2 high jump kicks. And even against defensive Manaphy, I will almost always guarantee kill. Well, 2 would have... Yeah, 2 I'm pretty sure together was like an 80-something% chance to kill the Manaphy. So I would need to get like either 2 really low rolls, because it was a 66 to... It was around 66 to 80%. And as you can see, once the HP bar comes back up, he's going to be in that range. Yeah, it's about 70% that he has. So it's 66 to 80. And of course, I missed a high jump kick. So I definitely lost this match, because had I not missed a high jump kick, I would have lived the Scald. I would have lived on about like 40%. So obviously, if I didn't get burned, I could have most likely killed the Manaphy. And then he didn't have anything else that would have necessarily wanted to take me on, because since I was +1 defense, and I had also actually lost my item, I could have still killed his Ditto with acrobatics. He could not have killed me with acrobatics in return. His Venusaur would not have lived in acrobatics, and his Ninetales would not have lived in acrobatics. So I lost the game because I missed high jump kick. Obviously, I could have lost it because I got low rolls as well, and I do completely understand that. But overall, there was almost no chance, because the Ditto after Rock's damage would have taken enough to the point where Acro killed it. He could not have killed me in return because of my defense boost. So overall, sucks how the game went. He obviously played well, so I'm not going to take marks off him for that. So that's it, though. See you guys around. Peace out.